Hi guys, I am Sarvesh. I am going to discuss about fundamentals of MLOps. It's pretty much important topic currently because uh, for model building, it's pretty much easy. You are importing few libraries. If you have basic knowledge of that uh, algorithm, just you can build any model. And nowadays, so many libraries are present. You can build a model easily by using this scikit-learn, TensorFlow, Keras libraries. But for tracking the changes over the data set, tracking the changes over the requirement of memory in your system, or tracking the changes of your business requirements is necessary to just get higher efficiency and higher accuracy of your model. If you are building a model for first time, it will take so much time, so much expertise, so much resources. And in case your business requirements change, in case your data changes, and due to change in business requirements or due to change in data sets, your model can be useless, can be corrupted. So in this case, you have to bear same amount of pain whatever you used to bear for first time development of your model. MLOps is the concept. It's a process where we just engage all steps in a so manner so that we can keep track of the changes in our model, and we can get a lineage between the old model development process so that we can implement any other changes whatever we want to do without altering the steps, without altering the process which didn't warrant a change. So it is really going to ease our work. Let me present here. What is this MLOps? In simple terms, it is DevOps for machine learning end-to-end process. Like we used to manage our software development with the help of this DevOps. MLOps is same for machine learning, but here we are tracking our machine learning models. And in software development, versioning of codes are needed, but for MLOps, extra steps are needed because we are just tracking the changes over data also, not over code also, code only. So here you can see DevOps, data engineering, machine learning, and common of all these are MLOps. Under MLOps, we are just deploying few technology of DevOps, code versioning. We are just tracking changes over our machine learning model, and we are tracking changes over data also. Why MLOps? Why MLOps is needed? MLOps aims to unify the release cycle for machine learning and software application release. MLOps enables automated testing of machine learning artifacts like data validation, ML model testing, and integration testing. Application of agile principle to machine learning projects, and continuous integration or continuous development systems. Build these models as first-class citizens with continuous integration and continuous deployment systems. So you can just assess from these steps how MLOps is going to ease our work. Here we can do data validation, model testing, integration testing, and we can do continuous integration and continuous deployment. Means if data is altering few changes, warrant few changes, model warrants few changes, it will be continuously deployed. We need not to go over whole the process and deploy it again. How MLOps is different from DevOps? we can see, we can say simply here, machine learning plus DevOps, combination of this is MLOps. In a DevOps process, we are just versioning our code, because in software development process, code is the main work. Coding is the main work, and whole system is dependent on code. But for this machine learning process, here data set has more impact than our code. So we can say this ML combination of this DevOps and ML is MLOps. Let me demonstrate this automated pipeline and components of this MLOps. Code management is the first step. You can do it, or really no one is giving more emphasis on code management from ML point of view. People are managing their codes on Google Colab, Jupyter Notebook, Anaconda, and they are just making repositories on in their local directory and just importing wherever it is needed. But for better pipeline creation of MLOps, we need code management. We can use Git, or we can use GitHub. GitHub for keeping our repositories and Git for versioning our code. That will be okay, because we can track the changes over code. We can reverse back to the previous code, and we can see what code is running better, and we can choose the best one. Okay. Then data management. Here we used to do data management. Actually, data versioning is also needed, because with the span of times, it may happen data changes over the time. And if data changes over the time, it may happen that data can alter their behavior, their pattern also. And this can corrupt whole model. Suppose we have deployed a model on linear regression, and now data have changed, data has been complex, it is not fitting linearly, then what can happen? Is our model is going to give accurate result? No, because behavior has changed. So data versioning is also needed. Then we used to build our model. Model management is needed. Model should be located somewhere from where everyone can access this model. And then model profiling is needed, like how much memory is required for this, whether sufficient amount of memory is with us or not. And then we can go with, sorry, where was I? Drift monitor. What is this drift? Drift is pretty much necessary process. Drift monitor is pretty much necessary. There is two types of drift. First is model drift, and second is data drift. What is this model drift? We can associate this model drift by from memory management and processor requirement also. Like model has become more complex, then here model needs more memory and more processor. So it is necessary to keep track of these changes, otherwise it may happen our system can crash. Okay. For data drift, here we can say our data is changed over the time due to the business requirement. I am just going to explain it with one more example. Like, we have created a model for spam detection. It may happen a spammer can just change their behavior to fool our model. So in this case, like we have created a model, same manner linear regression model for just making predictions. Our model is running better, but in case data changes, there is no relationship linearly between our features and target variable. and it is related exponentially. So what is our model going to work better? No. Linear regression model is not going to work with this exponential model. Here we can use our sigmoid function, like we have created a complex model XGBoost, then it is going to work with our simple data sets also and complex data sets also. But we have created classification model, it is not going to work with regression model. So it is necessary to keep track of the changes in data sets so that our model doesn't corrupt, our model keep working with good efficiency and good accuracy. Data capture, real-time data sets are needed. If we are not taking real-time data sets, so same problem, data dip problem can be there. Our business needs something else and we are working on 10 years old data sets, then we are predicting something else. A smoke test, model deployment, and governance. These all steps are necessary for MLOps automated pipeline, and these all steps should be tracked so that any changes, if happen anywhere in any steps, these all are compensated with our MLOps. Moving further, what is this ML pipeline? This is the series of transformations that are applied to data between its source and destination. Pure code artifact, independent from specific data instances. This means it is possible to track its version in source control and automate its deployment with regular continuous integration or continuous deployment pipeline. What is model and data versioning? Same thing, model and data versioning. We have to keep track of the changes of data set. We have to keep track of the changes of the model. This is model and data versioning. Like we used to keep track of the changes of our code in Git. Same process is used here for model and data versioning. Azure is the best data versioning tool where we can keep track changes of these data versioning and model versioning. What is model validation? Model validation, actually model is predicting accurately, model is working efficiently or not. This is model validation. We use to track changes of their accuracy, their efficiency. If it is working better, then it's okay. What is data validation? Good data pipeline usually starts by validating the input data. Common validation include file formats and size, column types, null or empty values, and invalid values. These are all necessary for ML training and prediction. Otherwise, you might end up with a misbehaving model and scratching your head looking for the reason. Data validation is analogous to unit testing in the code domain. This is all about the basics, fundamentals of MLOps. It was just to give you an overview of MLOps, what is MLOps and how this MLOps is working. In the next lecture, I am going to show you the demo on Azure, how in Azure we can create data pipeline, we can do versioning of our ML models, and really it is going to help you a lot, and it is going to just ease the work of every data scientist, because data will keep changes over the time. Like we have collected few data from different geographic location, and now we have taken data from rural area, we can say, where we have taken data for our rides, our motorcycle rides, how many rides are created from this area. But in case we are moving towards metro cities, and here number of rides are increasing, and time taken to complete a ride will also increase due to traffic and other problems. So in this case, our data set behavior is changing. few constraints are added in this data set. In this case, it is necessary to take real-time input and create a model with those hyperparameters, with those constraints, so that we can accurate efficiently how much money should I cost, and how many riders are needed, how many riders should be onboarded. So really, you can see here you will need not to create another model and go through whole the process from writing code to deployment of model, because you have just created a good data pipeline. You have keep track of the changes over model, whether model requirement have changed, whether the uh, the requirements of model has been changed, or whether things have changed over the time, data sets have changed, and our MLOps, our this Azure system will keep track of those changes and will retrain our model according to the changes warrants over the time. Thank you. This is all about, and keep tuned with me for further lecture on Azure, where I'll show you complete demo how to work with this MLOps, how to create a good pipeline, and how to automate your ML model. Thank you.